Well, as the Vice Chancellor of a university, I was personally very delighted to see that the Honorable Prime Minister spoke about Viksit Bharat at 2047, keeping in mind the role of universities. And he addressed all of us and, of course, the educational establishment of the country. But I also would like to say that if we want to take this conversation, this discussion to the next level, there is a case for the Prime Minister's Advisory Council on higher education, which essentially brings together some of the key higher education leaders representing different universities across India. Now, the reason this becomes important is that if you want to look at the big picture of how India can play a leadership role in the future of higher education, how Indian universities can shape the future of innovation, technology and entrepreneurship, how Indian universities can be at the vanguard of research, scholarship and publications, how Indian universities can collaborate with the best of the institutions from around the world, how India can host scholars, researchers and even students from other parts of the world in India. We need to reimagine the nature and the functionality of our higher education system, and that requires higher level thought process. And I strongly believe no less than the Honorable Prime Minister of India should consider the idea of establishing an advisory council to the Prime Minister that focused on higher education. Just as we have the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council, which is already an existing body, there is a case for establishing the Prime Minister's Educational Advisory Council, which focuses on education, universities and the future of India driven by education. I have always maintained that if Australia as a country can attract the students from across the world, including India, education contributes second largest GDP for Australia. I don't see any reason why India cannot assume that role, whereby India becomes the natural choice for students across Middle East, South Asia, Southeast Asia and Africa for an aspirational student from these countries to pursue high quality education at a significantly reasonable cost in India. In fact, we've already played a leadership role in frugal innovation. The fact that Indian scientists have been able to have successful mission to Mars and Moon at a significantly lesser cost. In fact, the cost of the Mars and Moon mission by Indian scientists was less than what Hollywood had spent in making movies that focused on these missions. Indian scientists have been at the vanguard of frugal innovation, successfully advancing science and technology, and in that process even democratizing access to that technology. I believe that the next significant development in the future of Indian higher education will inevitably focus on these radical changes, and there is a strong case for establishing the Prime Minister's Education Advisory Council, who will be in a position to bring out ideas and develop new thoughts and perspectives for the future of India, and in that process achieving the goals and the vision of Viksit Bharat at 2047.